Cast me not away from thy presence, O Lord, and renew a right spirit within me. Welcome, Jim. Good
Hey
to
there,
see you on
Santos.
board.
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you
What
fine.
is it here? There we go. All right. Can you hear me well? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Welcome, welcome. Well, we are starting fresh all the way from Stockton, California. This is Coach Santos. I've got Coach Jim with me all the way from Tucson, Arizona. We're going to have a short one tonight, but this is your community. This is your solution. And I'm welcoming you to join us tonight for a little bit. Whatever question you might have, I'm going to ask. I'm going to plead with you to ask your question, especially if you are a struggling gambler that wants your freedom back. You want to get your bank account back online. And first and foremost, you want to have the peace in your heart. There's nothing better than peace, folks. Nothing better. So come on in, put your seatbelt on nice and tight, click it, or you'll get a ticket. I'm only kidding. Turn down all distractions. And once again, join us here tonight. We've got kind of a free for all, if you will. If you are struggling and you need a solution, believe that it can happen for you tonight. Believe that something great, something powerful can change your life tonight, right here within the SOMC, Soldiers of Self Mastery community. So, welcome. Facebook, uh, YouTube, and I believe we're doing Twitch tonight. Yeah, we're twitching. So, welcome, welcome. This is number 357. Jim, give us a word. We've got a few visitors here. I don't know where they're from. I'm glad that you're here. They're popping in and out. So this is going to be kind of a free for all. You got a thought, you got something that you want to share, or you might have a question yourself. I've got many questions, but I'll wait to see what happens here tonight. It's been a while, so go ahead and share if you've got something on your heart, Jim, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, welcome back there, Santos. I wanted to go and talk about the topic of regaining back our confidence. I believe addiction can go ahead and really take away our confidence, especially when we have the desire and the intention of stopping whatever bad habit that is affecting our life. Um, you try, you think about something, and you just fall down on on your face. You know, you try again, you fall down on your face. You might even be worse off than when you first started. When you first started this transformation that you started, and it's like, man, I'm seeing nothing going right. I'm getting worse, you know, and those experiences are just taking away our confidence. It's really it's despairing, when we try and we go ahead and fail and we say, you know what, I don't trust myself. I can't do this. So when we lose our confidence, we lose our ability to want to try again, you know.
Mhm.
So the idea of regaining back our confidence, how do we go ahead and get back our confidence? I was thinking that is a good question to go ahead and ask ourselves, in
Yeah.
this fight.
Mhm. Go ahead.
And yeah, I mean, it's like, and I was thinking about this. How do we manufacture victories? Victories. I mean, it seems like we lose our confidence because we have an ambitious goal of defeating the addiction, right? But I guess you can go and say if you don't have a plan, right, you're going to go ahead and fail, right? If you just jump into it, you're going to go ahead and fall on your face. So I'm thinking that, well, a plan really is needed, and I think one of the most important kinds of things to regain back our confidence is to try to manufacture victories, meaning to say, you don't have to have a huge victory, but you need to go ahead and do something that is small, like baby steps, to go ahead and be able to accomplish. and build some momentum, right? Uh, if you think about gambling, let's say, what can you do to go and feel better about yourself? What can you do? What are the steps that you can go and do? Um,
Yeah.
I guess you can say journaling is one thing, that's taking action. And I was thinking about when we manufacture victories, it takes effort, right? It takes some effort. Anything that's worthwhile, it takes effort and energy. It takes work. And I think that's something that we don't kind of really think about. Um, and that work can go and be sometimes a little bit painful. It takes energy. It puts us in a vulnerable position too, I think. It's like, well, what if I try and I fail? I'm just going to be back in the same place. So we need to try to create small victories. And teaching, I remember, at Sylvan Learning Center, they talked about testing the students, starting them off with a lesson, and the lessons would be easy. Why would it be easy? It's
Mhm.
something that they can do, they can be successful at, right? So that they can go ahead and build those victories. I think that's what the problem gambler or any kind of addict needs to do. If they're going to go ahead and try to kick a bad habit, we need to start giving ourselves opportunities to create, manufacture ways where we can win. How can we develop some fast wins for ourselves that will move us closer to our goal, a goal of kicking our habit, you know? And I
Well,
think, just,
yeah.
go ahead.
Let's look at that for a moment here, Jim. We're going to look at this. We talked about a few things the last episode, or at least the last episode that I was on, the lesser pain and the more, we can say, the brighter pain or the harder pain. Before we get to this subject, by the way, it's a good subject. Welcome, those of you that are coming on board. Race, welcome. Let me get to the proverb. You know me, Mr. Religious, got to read the proverb, and then we'll get into this. We'll discuss this topic of becoming more confident. What can you do? What can you do? Can it start tonight? Is it possible that you can kickstart your confidence tonight? Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing if you walk away from this episode, number 357, building your confidence? All right, let me get into this here. Psalm 71, verse 1 says, "In thee, O Lord." By the way, I had a great session today at Bible study. Not in the church. I don't belong to a church, but I belong to a small group of people that really, really enjoy reading and studying the Bible and praying. In thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Let me never be put to confusion. Let me never be put to confusion. I tell you, folks, one of the worst things that you can do to yourself in the midst of your problems. Jim talked about being tested. He brought up the subject of building confidence. One of the worst things that you can allow yourself to fall into is confusion. Confusion grows. It can grow like cancer if you let it. When you let it, you don't have to. We talked about two pains. Number one, Jim, and I'm going to let you speak in a little bit here, share a little bit more about how you feel. The number one thing that you must want, you must desire it badly. You must focus. That must be your vision. Jim talked about a vision. I believe you shared something. It has to be your vision. It absolutely needs to become your vision. That is one of the best ways to become confident. And you are being tested on the other side. Folks, every single day, you are being tested. Are you studying? Are you preparing for these tests? Or have you become so soft? Have you become so soft that you no longer have any desire to make yourself more confident? You can't be soft and be confident. or can you be somewhat soft and begin working on your confidence? So the number one thing is you must want something terribly bad. By the way, I want to welcome those of you that are here. I see a question, and I know there's a few of you popping in and out. Listen, folks, this time is a precious time that we have within this community. I believe this is the number one community to build upon. Call me biased. It's not because Jim's here. It's not because I'm here. I believe the presence of God Almighty is here with us. And I'm going to share the call to action here in a little bit. We're not going to be here this long. If you have, I see a question there, and I want to address that. Number one, though, Jim, you got to want it badly. And sadly, I see many people falling away. They're just falling away. They're failing the test. If you're falling away, well, first of all, I'm glad that you're here. So in a sense, you're not falling away because you're coming into this community. You're being tested. Race, you're being tested. And the other folks that are watching, you're being tested. Ask yourself the question, are you preparing yourself for the test? How could you prepare yourself? Well, one way you could prepare yourself is by coming to this community on Sundays, coming to this community on Wednesdays. Some time ago, we talked about making a honorable decision. There's two types of pains, folks. Partners, friends, community member. There's two types of pain. Which one are you striving for? Which pain are you striving for? Go ahead, Jim. I'm going to look at Race's question, and then go ahead and share what's on your mind here.
Yeah, you talked about you got to want it. You have to come up with enough good reasons why you want it. Maybe this pain that you're feeling is just so awful. The state and the condition of your current life is just so awful. It's like, you know what? I don't want to be like this. I don't want to live like this anymore, And that has to really touch you. And say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Right? It's you talk about confusion. And confusion is a lack of understanding, I think, a lack of insight. It's like, where is this coming from? Where are all these problems coming from? And I think you hit the nail on the head when you talk about, praying, using God, talking to God. Because when you go ahead and meditate, when you do some praying, you start really digging deep into the meaning of what's happening in your life. I mean, there's so much to focus on, right? We have an infinite number of things to focus on, but we have the choice. We have the ability to choose, the divine aspect of whatever happens in our life. We can use that to move us in a better direction. So being able to pray, being able to go ahead and think and meditate about what's going on in your life, where you want to go, taking the attitude, it's like, you know what, there's a reason why these things are happening in my life. And I appreciate all these things could be perceived as negative, but you know what, I'm going to go and look into it. And I say, you know what, there's a reason why. And I'm going to go ahead and think about this. I'm going to go ahead and pray about this. I'm going to go ahead and find the good in this situation and help me move myself to the better place, And with that, we leave that confusion and we leave that frustration. We find some real meaning. We create the meaning. And what's important is we need to choose the best meaning for ourselves, the meaning that helps us move us in the best direction.
Yeah, you create a vision. A vision almost automatically begins to develop once you decide and you make your decision honorable. Once you decide, man, this is what I truly want. This is what I truly, truly want. We've become so soft, many. Thank you, Johnny, for coming on. We're going to look at this whoever has been gambling free, I just want to say I'm proud of you. I know how hard some days can get. Avoid those triggers. It is becoming very difficultly hard for many people. People are full of shame. We talked about the verse that says in Psalm 71, "In thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Let me never be put to shame or to confusion." It's when you don't have a vision for yourself, you're looking for something to satisfy your cravings inside. You're releasing dopamine. You're looking for ways to challenge yourself. And you're going about it the wrong way. I've seen people, I've seen gamblers, business owners, nurses, truck drivers, homemakers that was once leaving comments on my videos. They're no longer here. What they have is confusion of faces. They no longer, like Jim was sharing, they no longer have their way. They don't know. We've got so many problems. We've got so many challenges. We have to pick one and begin working with one. When your vision is confusion, right? You don't know what to do. You even tell yourself, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Self-fulfilling prophecy with your own words. Jim talked about journaling. Powerful, powerful tools that you can use for yourself, along with ST, self-talk. I've already lost all my money, Santos. Jim, I've already lost all my money. There's nothing left in the bank. So I might as well just keep on doing this thing that I find comfort in some way. You're focused on the brighter, actually, you're focused on the harder pain. And where is that going to lead you? Where is that leading you? More debt. You don't have any peace. You're soft. You're having a difficulty time making an honorable decision that will create a new vision for you. It's a sad state of affairs for many people today, Jim. It's a sad state of affairs. And I do my best to share. I do my best to keep this community. This is difficult. This is challenging for me. I'm going to be here till God takes me home. I'm going to do my best to be a light, a shining light. Jim is shining his light in this dark world. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. The marketing is expanding. Technology is expanding. The software that basically reads you like a book, that's the test that you fail because you're getting more caught up in the system. You're looking to fulfill something in your life, but you're going about it the wrong way, my friend. You're going about it the wrong way. You have to make an honorable decision. That's the first thing. If you're going to build your confidence, if you're going to create a new vision, if you want to get rid of the softness, it's like muscles. If you don't work out, if you don't, man, I'm going to be 58 this year, and I've noticed, a few biological changes. And man, I have to work harder now to keep up the energy and to do things. I'm doing it. If you're a problem gambler or you have some kind of an addiction that has you by the throat, it doesn't matter what it is. It'll keep dragging you down. It'll take everything you have if it hasn't already. Because once it really takes your peace, you end up with confusion. You really don't have any confidence. You start talking to yourself in a way that is just disastrous. And some people don't even want to be around you for that. Here, I'm not here to judge you, my friend, community member, partner. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to tell you the truth. There's a reason why you're here. There is a reason why you're here, why we're here. Johnny, go ahead, Jim. Go ahead, Jim. Share your thoughts. I'm looking for questions, by the way.
I think one of the ways that we can, getting back to the idea of developing our confidence, regaining our confidence, talked about having a plan. And I think uh, one of the things that important in our plan is to develop systems that works for us. A system like simple system journal. What the heck happened today? You know, you went back to your addiction. What happened? What occurred? Write it out. Talk to yourself. You know, from the beginning of the day all the way to the end when you lost your last dollar. Okay, what happened? Put it on paper. Okay, ask yourself. Do I want to keep doing this? Why is this bad? What would a better life look like? What would I want in my life? You start writing that down. That's the focus that we want to go ahead and create, that more divine focus, right? Where do I want to go in life? Where do I want to be? What do I want to have, right? Now we start creating some light, right? Some light that helps us see where we want to go. And that kind of beats down that confusion. It starts clarifying our life a little bit better. So regaining our confidence is taking action, right? In developing some type of system, which should include journaling, writing down, focus, a vision, right? Another thing that I think that we need to concentrate on in our system is these three ideas: think, feel, act, right? Thinking, feeling, acting. Those are the three things that you're going to be doing that, dictate where you're going to go, in life. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? And what are you going to do, right? Now, your addiction can go ahead and sabotage those three actions. You can think something triggers you, right? Well, how are you going to go and deal with that kind of thinking, those triggers, right? How are you going to feel when you get triggered, right? You're getting this craving, right? That's like, ooh, that dopamine, right? And what are you going to do, right? So before you start moving in a direction, you should start being aware, being conscious. I think, who was it? Race was talking about lack of awareness, is what destroyed him. Okay. So let's start becoming aware of what we're thinking, how we're feeling, and what are we doing? How are we acting? Okay. And that can help us make better decisions and move us in the direction that we want to go. So when we think about systems, where we want to go, you talked about, honoring yourself. How can we honor ourselves? What's the honorable way of thinking? What's the honorable way of feeling? What's the honorable way of acting? You know, these little things. Okay, so we start putting these things in our tool bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we start acting, right? Little by little, right? We just start. And then I think that's something that we can go and do to go ahead and gain our confidence. We should throw the bag in our tool bag, the word discipline. We got to be disciplined. How hard do you want? How bad do you want it, right? That should increase our discipline, right? I'm going to do it or die. I don't want
Yeah.
to live like this anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore. I have my reasons. Here they are written on my journal. These are the reasons why I want to go out and destroy this habit of mine.
Yeah. Baby steps. I've talked about this before. It might sound ridiculous. I used to do this to myself. I would write notes on paste-it papers. Literal. I wouldn't write a lot. Of course, I kept that in a journal, but I would write things. I would even write on my windshield inside. You can get a magic marker, a permanent marker, and then erase it with alcohol. If you drive a vehicle, you can actually write something right there on your windshield as you're driving. Don't write it so big that it blocks your vision and then you have an accident. Okay, you don't want to do that. That's my disclaimer here. You can write something. Eventually, after a while, you won't see it. Your mind will. Your subconscious will pick that up, because you got to have something in baby steps. You got to have something in front of you. But more importantly, you have to want it badly. You have to want it badly. And until you get to that place, everything's going to be kind of hit or miss, hit or miss, hit or miss. By the way, thank you for those of you that are here. If you got a question, we're going to be ending in another 15 to 20 minutes. I know that the reason why I don't want to keep this program too long is because I know the struggle with people with addiction, people with that have strong addiction. Your span of attention, your attention span is very little, and I understand that. That's why I try to keep this program as short as possible with a strong punch. If you're not asking yourself questions, those of you that come here, I can see what you're. If you're not asking yourself questions, obviously you're probably not going to ask questions at this community. You should question that. You should question. It doesn't matter to me what question you ask. I'll look at it and we'll address it here. All questions are important. It's like I think about prayer. Sometimes I pray to God, Lord, help me with this. And I pray for a week, 2 weeks. Sometimes I've been praying for a year. I got my answer. Either God is making me wait for some reason, or he'll answer my prayer through people sometimes, through his Bible, or just in my thinking process. By the way, this is episode number 357. I've been in 3 weeks in Connecticut visiting family, kind of going through the ringer. I got taken into the shed a few times. I'm glad I passed those tests. Sometimes being around family members that really don't think the way you do, or they don't see your vision, they don't see your life, they can easily make things difficult. This is number 357, regaining your confidence. I'm going to invite you, if you feel supported. If you don't feel supported in any way, don't bother with anything here. Don't bother with it. Why would you do anything if you don't feel supported? Correct? If you do feel supported, we have some tools. We have some merch. We have some wonderful merch. I usually wear one of the shirts with the little logo on the front and a big badge of honor on the back. We have those. We have some tools, I shouldn't say tools, but merchandise. When you purchase a shirt, or when you purchase a book, or when you give a donation, small donation, it goes towards paying people that work for me, that help me broaden this community. It's not going to me, it's going directly to the mission to pay people, because it does cost a little bit. So if you feel it in your heart, buy a shirt, buy a journal, buy a sticker, buy a cap, or buy the new book. The Little Red Book is actually in the process of being reinstalled, because we made some major changes. We've made it a lot better. And that's also going to be in audio. We have it in audio, but it's not the perfected version. I'm always looking to perfect things or make them better, right? Nobody's perfect except God. There's always room for improvement within room for improvement. I believe it was Race that said we must beware of the focus thieves, right? The FTs or the LBs, the limiting beliefs. What else we have out there that's testing you? And only you know whether you're failing. Only you know whether you're failing or you're passing the test, or you're preparing before the exam. So be sure to check out the new improved soldiersofselfmastery.com website. I appreciate you for doing that. I appreciate you for donating, giving of your life, of your funds to support not just this mission, but you can help other gamblers, other people that are falling really horribly into addiction. That will give you pride. That will help you also. When you help others, it comes back to you like a boomerang. Okay? So be sure to check out soldiersofselfmastery.com. If anything, leave a testimonial. Leave something in the comments so that we can add that. You can leave your name if you want to leave a picture. We'll put that on the website so that we know that you are part of this community and you're wanting to support to see this mission go further. All right, we're coming close to the call to action here. In fact, Jim already read my notes. I don't know how he saw my notes, but he did. Anyways, what I want to say also, here, let me look at this. Money is important. Would you agree? Vision is vital. If you don't have a vision, right? If you don't have a vision to get up and go to work or do whatever you do, you're not going to generate income. We don't make money. We generate it through a service or through a product. People that make money, we say this all the time, and I get caught up in saying it. People at the mint, Jim, right? They're the ones, the treasury, they're the ones that are running the print machines and the ink, the special ink and the special paper. They're the ones that make money. So money is important. Vision is vital. Decision is critical. Decision is critical. You won't start anything unless you honor a decision or make a decision that's honorable, something that you know is well worth chasing. Because we can make a decision. Most of us make decisions that are not honorable. Every once in a while I do that, and then I hate myself for it. You can't become confident that way. You become softer. So you must make a decision to build confidence. That's what we talked about, regaining confidence. An honorable decision will help build that vision right from the get-go. Right from the get-go. Because an honorable decision will begin to move you past all the tests, all the shame, all the stuff, the ugly stuff that you have brought upon yourself because of the decisions that weren't honorable that you made. So I wanted just to leave that. I got a call to action. And so, Jim, I'm going to give Jim a few more minutes here. I'm looking for some questions here. We're coming down to the wire. We got about another 10, maybe 10, 15 minutes. Mark says he's here. Laura says, I just met Jonathan. I can, I will, I do, I am. I can, I will. Is that the one that you met, Jonathan? I can, I will, I do, I am. Can. There we go. Can. We're near Connecticut. Well, we missed each other. I was out there for 3 weeks, and I did put that out there. I didn't go live for 3 weeks. We're having some technical difficulty with the Wi-Fi. Anyhow, there'll be another period where I will be out there again. Boredom, let me see. Boredom is a challenge for me. Using tools like exercise isn't easy to sustain, but an honorable decision is. And even if you go exercise 2 days out of the week, and then the next week you do 3, you're consistently working on yourself. We have a challenge in front of all of us. I know I do. And sometimes I hate some of the things that I have to do, but it yields peace. You shouldn't have to wait till your legs are broken. You shouldn't have to wait on a major accident. You should not have to wait until everything is gone and you're homeless, living down by the river. Yeah, if you remember that. I laugh because there's a skit on SNL. Oh, who is this guy? The chubby guy that he passed away. Farley. Chris Farley, yeah. He said he lived down in a van down by the river. You don't have to wait for that. But if you do, there's opportunity there also. Unfortunately, it hit me hard. I ended up homeless with 3 children, my wife, for the second time. I lost a career I had for about close to 11 years. That's gone. And I just gave up. I gave up on a lot of things. Yet I made an honorable decision that took me to where I am today. And that's where this community started in 2016. I'm grateful to God. I'm very grateful. And I appreciate those of you that are here. By the way, I want to let you know something. You don't realize, but you inspire me. You inspire me. Think about that. I may be inspiring you. You inspire me. So I'm grateful. If you weren't here, who would be sharing this community with? So in some way you're a light. You got to keep that light going. You got to get propane in there. You got to get gas in there. You got to get some more batteries. Whatever it is that you need to do. and it comes through an honorable decision. An honorable decision. Go ahead, Jim. We've got a little bit left here.
Yeah, one of the things that you talked about, making honorable decision, decide to find reasons why you're worth it, why taking the disciplines, the steps, developing a system, um, deciding on why you're going to go and destroy this habit, this awful habit. Find out reasons and write them down in your journal. Why you're worth it. Why is the struggle worth it? I was at a children's tennis program a couple weeks ago, and one of the parents said she was tired, but her husband said, "You know what? We'll have plenty of time to rest when we're dead. We'll have plenty of time to rest when we're dead. But right now, it's time to do the work, right? And the hard work that we put in, right? The pain that we feel when we're trying to go out and fight against the temptations and the urges, it's worth it."
Jim, go ahead. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
It's worth it. So one of the things that I encourage people to do as a part of the system of improvement is journal with Santos's videos. Choose one of Santos's videos that connect with you the most, and start writing down some of the things that you're doing each day, what you're finding out. Write down what you accomplished. We talked about mini victories. What are some of the good things that you did that day that keeps you away from your addiction? What were the challenges that you had? That's a great place because you're directed in a good environment where you're supported in beating your addiction, right? That's a good habit right there. That's a good focus. That's a good place where you can go ahead and be in fighting your addiction. So choose one of Santos's videos that connect you with you the most and start journaling in there. Start typing what's going on in your life. And another thing that I encourage people to do is bring into your mind, focus on this, know thyself, right? I think that's a guy named Descartes, stated that, know thyself, what makes you tick, what pushes your buttons, know everything, learn about yourself as much as you can, because like you said, Santos, right? Confusion is not a good place. But a lot of times we're just moving through life, without any idea of why things are happening to us, because we don't know ourselves. We don't know our past traumas. We don't know what happened to us that causes us to think and act and feel a certain way. Let's go and stop and start analyzing what happened today. Where did this come from? And start picking up these patterns. Once you start seeing these patterns, now you can go ahead and see the problem, right in your face, and you can start making some adjustments. You can start making some changes. It's like, oh yeah, I see in my life that, my coworkers make me very angry. I get a lot of anxiety around my coworkers, and then, I can't handle that. So I go to my addiction, at night or on the weekends to go and relax. Okay, that's something in my life I need to go and deal with. I got some anxiety issues. I got some problems with people at work. How do I deal with that? And once you start asking those questions, the solutions will start generating, right? You put those problems on paper, you write them down, and then all of a sudden the mind starts thinking, okay, what are some possible solutions? So that's the power of journaling. That's the power of writing things down, right? And always keep the ends in mind, like what Stephen Covey said, right? 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? Mm-hmm. Where am I trying to go, right, Santos? Where's my focus? What I'm trying to do every day, right? That's a great thing to start thinking about right at the beginning of the day when you wake up, right? You can pray, you can meditate, and you can think, where am I trying to go? What's my goal? Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah. We are powerful people. Laura, Mark, Johnny, I thought it said Johnny Ringo. I apologize. It's Rodrigo. There we go. City by the Bay. You are powerful individuals. You are. I know something about you because I know something about myself. Let me see who else was here. Race, Johnny. Okay, I'm looking for one question here. We're going to be doing our call to action. Hopefully, you're hearing. Hopefully, you're paying attention. At the beginning, I might have forgot this, but I did say make sure you put your seatbelt on. Click it or ticket. Anyways, a friend of mine, while I was driving, I got the ticket. He got a ticket too. It has nothing to do with this, but maybe your ticket, if you don't click it, could be not gaining the confidence that you really need, that you really want, that you desire deep down inside. Or maybe you've got lots of money that you can just throw away. Sooner or later, it's going to get you. Sooner or later, it will get you. Mark my word on your calendar this day. Sooner or later, it will get you. You don't have to wait till you're broken. And if you feel broken, there's opportunity in the midst of your brokenness. Look for the rose. You might be pricked with some big. Have you ever fallen into a thorn bush? I fell one time. The thorns were about that big. And man, it got me. But I saw some roses in the bush. And yeah, I got stabbed up a little bit. Surely I don't want to go through that experience anymore. But that's how life is. Life will throw you into a big thorn bush. And you'll get pricked. The thorns will get bigger. Eventually, that'll make you stop. Those thorns, after a couple times, you get pricked deep enough, and you can even get infection if you don't take care of yourself. They'll get you. In fact, I don't know if a thorn bush can kill you, but if it's big enough and you get stabbed enough and you can't get out of there, you can bleed to death. You can bleed to death. You don't have to do that. You're at a great place. Tonight has been a wonderful. I'm glad that you're here. I'm looking for one more question here. I'm going to give Jim about 2 minutes here, and then I'm going to do a call to action. He already did my call to action. But it's okay. I can double up. God, when he speaks in his word, when he means something, he usually doubles up on it. So we're doubling up tonight for you because I care about you. Hopefully you really begin to care about yourself. Make an honorable decision. It's one of the most powerful things that you have, the ability to decide. The ability to decide. And you can do that tonight. You can do that right here. You can do it after the program's gone. Typically, once the program is gone, it's going to be harder for you to really make that decision. While we're alive, while we're spending energy, that's the time to begin building your vision. So we don't have tomorrow promised to me. It's not promised to you. When you make an honorable decision, you're going to begin creating vision, new vision, and you will begin regaining confidence, as Jim said earlier in the broadcast. So I'm looking for a decision. Go ahead, Jim, and share your last thoughts. I'll go into my call to action so we can. I got some good soup, homemade chicken soup on the cooker there. Oh man, vegetables, potatoes, and nice chunk of fresh thighs of chicken, and it's got cauliflower in it, corn, and it's so tasty. I'm already watering at the mouth. I just want to go. So if you were here, I'd give you a bowl. Mm-hmm. Anyways, go ahead, Jim. Share your last thoughts, and we'll do the call to action.
Yeah, last thoughts is just focus on where you want to go. Where do you want to go? Right? Make a plan and start taking little actions, right? And do that consistently. And then if we can go ahead and take care of those little steps, you talked about micro moment by micro moment, moment by moment, right? Just little actions. If you can go ahead and wake up in the morning, say some prayers, meditate, right? Think about what you're grateful of, set some goals, right? And remember, like I said before, think, feel, and act. Be conscious of what you're doing, what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and then ask yourself, what's the honorable thing to do? Am I thinking honorably about myself and my actions? Where are these feelings coming from? Right? Is it honorable for me to act on these feelings, to give into my temptations, or is that not honoring me? Okay. What's the honorable thing to do? Right? What's the honorable thing to do? It takes work, it takes effort, right? But the more we do it right, the easier it's going to get, and the more confident we're going to become because we are succeeding on each of those little steps, right? So that's I think that's where we want to go. That's where we want to go. And then keep watching Santos's videos, keep commenting, right? That keeps you in the mindset, right? The good frame of mind, the focus, right? To go ahead and beat your addiction.
I need you guys. I need you. I need your support. I need your presence. Without you, we can't help ourselves. Without you, I will not be able to help others. So let me give you the call to action. Jim already shared this earlier. I want to double up here on the verse that we had, if I didn't lose it. In thee, O Lord, this is Psalm 71, the Old Testament, King James Version. In thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Let me never be put to confusion. Let me never be put to confusion. If you don't know what to do about your situation, if you have a hard time hearing or listening, I would admonish you to do this. Take some time tonight before you go to bed and pray. Even if all you can say is, Lord, help me. Please help me, Lord. If that's all you can say, that's a pretty good prayer. And read scripture. Get yourself a Bible. Meditate on scripture. I remember the first time I started reading the Bible, I didn't know what I was reading. It was like another language, some hieroglyphics. Somehow I broke through that, and now I understand many parts of the Bible, from Genesis to Ezekiel to Jeremiah, Proverbs, the Psalms, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, Peter, Jude, and the book of Revelation. It took a lot of work to understand that, but it also took me waiting upon God to answer my prayers. With that said, I thank you for hanging out with us. We've come to the end of the broadcast. I truly hope that you walk away with something. I truly hope that you've walked away with something. This episode will be live. I will not put it into the membership. This episode is going to go on. So if you want to see it again, or if you came late, you'll be able to watch the whole version on the YouTube channel here. With that said, I'll see you Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be Wednesday. Will I see you at the top? Jim, thank you for hanging out with us all the way from Tucson, Arizona. Laura, thank you for hanging out with us. Be safe on the road there. Mark, be safe on the roads. Rodrigo. There we go. I don't know if you're still here. You might be. Thank you for sharing. And keep your questions coming. I didn't see any questions. You kind of let me down a little bit. Poquito. It's all right. We're all learning and growing. City by the Bay, good to see you here. And those of you by way of Facebook, by way of Twitch, thank you for hanging out. Race, you're in the race. Many are called, but few are chosen. You're in the race. And that is it, folks. We'll see you at the top on the inside on the next one. Bye now.
Thanks, Santos. Have a great week.
Jim, you too. We'll be in touch.
Take care. Bye.